DeVoe is about to reset all of our brains.
What we really need is Amunet. Amunet is immune to DeVoe's powers.
We can't partner up with Amunet. She's a criminal.
She kidnapped you. She tried to sell me into meta slavery.
And she ruined my bachelorette party.
We need your help.
No killing.
That was not a stipulation. Fine, it is time-consuming to remove blood from metal.
Harry, you have the floor?
No chance.
Harry,
No way.
come on.
Come on.
Do the intro.
Why? No.
421, Harry and the Harrisons.
The more I try to use my brain, the sooner I'm going to lose it.
Nobody has been able to sort of figure out how to help Harry get his intelligence back. They bring in the Council of Wells, who, now that they see that Harry is a dum-dum, as they call him, they don't have any time for him.
Let's face facts. I've lost most of my science, lost most of my math. Language will be next, and there's nothing we can do about it.
On the contrary, Montfrere.
There's a whole multiverse of Harrison Wells out there that are all smart. Let's go find them. We'll get a new council, you know, it'll be Harry and the Harrisons.
They gave me the boot. Wait, so I'm not the only one? Nuh-uh. All of us been kicked out. All of you have been kicked? You got me a council of rejects.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got new Flash and DC Universe TV shows and that streaming service to talk about. That's right, Titans, a Swamp Thing live-action TV show, Young Justice Season 3, and that Harley Quinn show. So I'll try to explain what's going on because there's a whole bunch of news that dropped this morning. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the DC videos. There's a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter, just be a subscriber and leave a DC-related comment on the video. I'll also try to talk more about Coffee Shop Girl from the end of last week's episode too, but next week's episode is mostly all about Harrison Wells. It's called Harry and the Harrisons. It's also about them getting Amunet Black's help in dealing with the Thinker. I totally love Katie Sackhoff, but I just feel like the Amunet Black character just has not worked out this season. And she was a big character during the comic book arc involving the Thinker during Jeff Johns' era, but the way they used her was a little bit different. Like, she was the leader of the Rogues during that era, but then at the end of that story, Captain Cold showed up and says, looks like you guys need a real leader. And it was sort of a kick in the pants to the Rogues as characters from Captain Cold. He was whipping them into shape, like, okay, now we're really stepping our game up. But they kind of taken the Captain Cold character in a completely different direction. I haven't been really happy with the way that they've dealt with some of the Rogues on the TV show. If you haven't seen it, the title is a play on the movie Harry and the Hendersons, which is sort of like a Bigfoot movie with John Lithgow. It's a bit of a family comedy. I don't know if they're just borrowing the title because it sounds funny and it has something to do with the Council of Wells, or if there'll be some similarities between the plot of that movie and the plot of this episode. But Coffee Shop Girl, most of you have probably seen the episode by now, or if you haven't seen my video, have noticed that her lightning is both yellow and purple. You know, bit of Barry lightning, bit of Iris West lightning, just making you wonder who she belongs to. She's from the future, she's very clearly related to the West Allen family, but when she's talking to Joe and Cecile about how precious the time that they have now is, it makes it sound like she's one generation removed, like she's someone's daughter from inside this room here. But even though they really want you to wonder if it's Cecile's baby because she's having a baby girl and there's all this pink there, she's wearing pink when she knocks on the door, and obviously she's a big season 5 storyline, they might be a little misleading because remember earlier this season, they had Cecile on the table and Caitlin's like, yep, nope, your baby's totally normal. So because that moment came after we learned about Coffee Shop Girl, I think that was meant to head off theories about them potentially having a baby that was Coffee Shop Girl. Because think about it this way, like, why would they let those characters have a baby on this TV show when they're like secondary characters to begin with? The reason why Joe originally got with Cecile, I think, was to give Joe something else to do when he wasn't in scenes with Barry. Like, what's Joe doing when he's not on screen? Oh, he's off with Cecile. Previously, there just wasn't a lot in Jesse Martin's storyline outside of Wally West, so when the Wally story wasn't real big, Joe wasn't real big. So in comes Cecile, the actress is great, Jesse Martin's one of the best actors on the TV show, so they have good scenes together, so I think they tried to turn that into something a little bit more. But when you think about what the Flash TV show is all about, it's about Barry becoming the Flash, then getting married to Iris, and them starting a family of speedsters that leads to the Flash family in the future. What does Joe and Cecile having a baby have to do with that? Absolutely nothing. So you're like, okay, wait a minute, are they trying to do some twist? Is one of them gonna die? Is the baby gonna die? What's going on here? The coffee shop girl scene from last week's episode makes it sound like something really bad is going to happen to either Joe or Cecile, maybe both of them, because the conversation she has with them is the conversation you have with someone who's dead in the future that you then go back to a period when they were alive and say, treasure the time that you have while you have it. Moving into DC Universe streaming service, though, everybody wants to know, Swamp Thing TV show, what's going on with Titans? When is this all starting? So if you didn't see this morning, they announced that the untitled DC streaming service, where they're going to be dropping Titans and all these new shows that they're developing, is now officially called DC Universe. It'll be a subscription service, just like Netflix or anything else, but they haven't announced what's going to be happening outside of the United States. Like right now, this sounds like it's going to be United States only, and then they'll partner up with Netflix for international air dates. So if you live in Europe or somewhere else and you're watching these DC TV shows that are on the CW on Netflix on a weekly basis, pretty good bet that that's also how you're probably going to be watching Titans and these other new DC shows that they're developing. So we knew about Titans, they're filming now. We actually found out that Donna Troy is probably going to be a character that will recur during season 1 and be a main character during season 2. Looks like a pretty solid pick, can't wait to see what she actually looks like in costume. But they're still filming that TV show. Everything seems to be going pretty normally. They posted more behind-the-scenes pictures of Hawk and Dove in their costume. I guess they're back on set for one of the later episodes. They still have a couple episodes left to film. Robin was back in his costume. Within all the announcements that they were making, they released logos for the TV show. Like, this is the logo for the Titans TV show. Like, this is the logo for the Flash TV show. This is the logo for Young Justice Season 3. This is the logo for that animated Harley Quinn TV show that they're doing. And this is the logo for the new Swamp Thing live-action show that they announced. So they announced that James Wan, who's doing the Aquaman movie, is executive producing this live-action Swamp Thing TV show. It'll probably be 13 episodes. They say it's probably going to drop during 2019 sometime. So they didn't say what the story is going to be. They'll probably tell his origin story the same way they're doing the origin story of the Titans. So if you're a really big Swamp Thing fan or you want to read stories, I would just recommend starting with Rebirth. If you're looking for specific comic book stories to read to get ready, I wouldn't worry about that too much now. Just find something that you like and start reading that. It's going to be a while before we get more news about Swamp Thing. They gave it a script to series order, meaning that if the network likes the script, they will give it a full series order and they'll just start making it. But the people that are writing that script are from Battlestar Galactica in the It movie. So if James Wan is a notable horror director and you have a horror person writing it along with Battlestar Galactica, it sounds like the Swamp Thing TV show is going to be straight up horror, which makes me so much more excited about it. So I almost forgot, there's actually that Metropolis TV show too. They didn't make any special announcements about that. They didn't reveal a logo for what it's going to look like. I think because they're trying to figure out how Superman is going to figure into it, and they want to work him into the logo if they can. But the only TV shows out of all this stuff that are going to drop this year are Titans and Young Justice Season 3. Everything else that you just heard about isn't going to drop till next year. So by 2019, we'll have like a couple of these hardcore DC shows on. And they're meant to be way more hardcore than the network stuff that CW does. They have broadcast standards they have to adhere to. When shows are made specifically for streaming platforms, you don't have to worry about that. You can show more blood, more sex, more of all the good stuff. So what'll happen later this year before Comic-Con is they might announce their pricing model and when they're going to roll shows out. But I think that they're on track to show off trailers for some of this stuff, especially Young Justice and Titans, when we get to Comic-Con. But because this is just the beginning, post all your questions in the comments below. I'm sure there's thousands of questions about how this is all going to work. Who are they going to get to play Swamp Thing? How are the shows going to cross over? Are they going to have anything to do with what's going on with the CW DC TV shows? So as we learn more, I will do more videos about that. Congratulations to Agent 1207, you're the giveaway winner from my last video. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. And yes, to answer your question, that is who Coffee Girl is. So click here for my Flash episode from last night and click here for brand new Infinity War. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.